We are less than 24 hours away. Tomorrow, on November 5th, the super full moon will rise, vast, brilliant, and impossibly close, brighter than any moon we have seen this year. It will hang in the night sky like a mirror for everything hidden, pulling the tides of the earth and the tides inside us alike. And when it appears, something in the air will shift. You might not see it at first, but you'll feel it, a quiet stirring, a subtle change, as if the world itself were inhaling before speaking. This isn't just another full moon. It's a signal, a turning point, a reminder that change is already in motion. The energy of a supermoon doesn't arrive softly. It hums beneath the surface. It calls things out of hiding. It brings messages and sometimes warnings, whispers that come before the meaning fully reaches you. Before this moon reaches its highest point in the sky, there are signs, small and personal, that begin to appear in the hours leading up to it. You won't find them on television. They won't be written in glossy magazines or shouted across the internet. They reveal themselves quietly, through a dream that feels too vivid to ignore, a thought that arrives from nowhere but lands with strange clarity, or a coincidence so precise it feels impossible to dismiss. Most people brush them off. They call it imagination, coincidence, a trick of the mind. But not you. You're here because something deeper is listening. Something in you already knows there's more happening than what can be seen. The super full moon doesn't just light the sky. It speaks, it stirs, it awakens. And if you're watching this, if these words find you now, that's not an accident. You were meant to hear them. Because before the night of the full moon, there are 9 signs that appear, quiet markers of alignment, signals that the energy around you is building, guiding you toward release and renewal. You don't have to search for them. You just have to notice. This moon is not ordinary. It's the super full moon, brighter, larger, and more charged with energy than any other in the year. When it rises, the pull won't just be gravitational. It will be emotional, mental, spiritual. Some people will feel restless, unable to sleep, their thoughts racing faster than usual. Others will feel their hearts open for no reason at all, full, sensitive, and raw. You might sense the same. That's how this moon speaks. Not through logic, but through feeling. Spiritually, this phase is about release, shedding layers that no longer fit, letting go of what weighs you down. It's about making space for the next version of you that's already trying to emerge. When you start to feel emotional without knowing why, don't fight it. That emotion is your body's way of clearing space. It's energy in motion, and that motion matters. Because right after that release, something new begins to take shape. Something lighter, clearer, and more aligned with who you're becoming. Think of it this way. The supermoon acts as both mirror and magnet. It reflects what still needs to be faced and draws toward you what's ready to unfold. It's not random. It's rhythm. The natural rhythm of transformation. And that rhythm begins with the first sign, the return of the past. Before a shift, echoes of what you've left behind tend to resurface. Maybe you suddenly dream of someone you haven't seen in years, or you receive a message from a person who once mattered deeply. Maybe a song plays out of nowhere and drags up memories you thought were long gone. These aren't accidents. They're reminders. The universe brings them back to the surface, so you can see them differently now, from a place of clarity instead of attachment. It's not about reopening old wounds. It's about recognizing how much you've healed. Sometimes the past reappears not through people but through thoughts, a place you remember, a regret that lingers, a feeling you once ignored. Under this moon's light, those moments glow with new understanding. The point isn't to go back. It's to finally release what's still been holding you there. The moon's glow is like a spotlight, and what it touches are fragments that are ready to be seen, so they can finally let go. The second sign appears in your restlessness. It starts small, a sudden urge to change something. Your room, your routine, your appearance, your surroundings. You might wake up one morning and feel like the old patterns no longer fit. That impulse to move things, to rearrange, to shift your world even slightly, that's not boredom. That's energy trying to move through you. The closer we get to November 5th, the stronger that current becomes. The supermoon amplifies what's already stirring inside you. It's a call to clear space, to remove what no longer resonates. You might not know what's coming next, but you'll feel the need to prepare for it anyway. Trust that feeling. Sometimes your spirit senses change long before your mind can name it. That's what this moon teaches, that not every transformation needs to be understood to be real. The third sign is subtle but powerful, patterns repeating. You start noticing the same numbers, the same words, the same songs, the same themes circling back to you. Maybe it's 11:11 flashing every time you check the clock. Maybe it's hearing the same phrase from two different people in one day. Maybe it's a symbol that follows you around, a feather, a color, a sound. These repetitions are not coincidences. They're confirmations. It's as if the universe speaks in code, and these recurring details are its language. Each one whispers the same message. Pay attention. Something is aligning. And when you start noticing them, when you acknowledge them even silently, their frequency increases. That's how awareness works. The more you see, the more you're shown. These are signs of harmony between your energy and what's unfolding around you. As the moon grows fuller, time itself seems to stretch and accelerate at once. Days feel longer but pass more quickly. Plans change unexpectedly. People act differently. What once felt stable begins to shift, revealing the truth underneath. Don't resist it. The moon doesn't create chaos. It reveals movement. It draws everything to the surface so you can see what's real. Then comes the fourth sign, sudden inspiration. You feel the urge to begin, to start something new, to take action where you once hesitated. Maybe it's a creative idea that appears out of nowhere, or a hobby you wanted to try but never found the courage for. Maybe you realize you're ready to make a change in direction, in your career, your relationships, your goals. Inspiration under a supermoon isn't just random motivation. It's alignment coming alive. The push you feel isn't impatience. It's readiness. You'll notice small nudges, a story you hear that sparks a thought, a message that arrives at the perfect moment, a memory that turns into a plan. Don't ignore them. This is how transformation begins, not through grand announcements, but through quiet momentum. Every time you act on these nudges, the world responds. Opportunities start to appear, the right message, the right person, the right timing. It's as if invisible threads are pulling everything into place. When this happens, don't second-guess it. The energy of the full moon supports movement, but only if you trust your instinct enough to take the first step. Even one small action can set a chain of change in motion. Then arrives the fifth sign, opportunities from nowhere. Sometimes they're small, a text, an invitation, a chance encounter. Other times they're bigger, an idea that suddenly feels possible, or a door that opens without effort. Don't dismiss them just because they seem random. Nothing in this energy is random. The supermoon brings acceleration, aligning circumstances faster than usual. What's important is how you respond. When something unexpected crosses your path, pause before you say no. Sit with it. It might be the beginning of something larger than you can see now. The universe doesn't hand out rewards. It offers tests. Small opportunities appear to see if you're ready to step into greater ones. At the same time, signs of growth begin to show quietly. Maybe a plan you'd almost given up on suddenly starts working. Maybe a long-awaited message finally arrives. Maybe a conversation sparks a new possibility. These are the gentle confirmations that you're moving in the right direction. You don't have to chase them. They find you when you're aligned enough to notice. Around November 5th, this alignment grows stronger. The pieces of life start to fit together in new ways. You realize that what once felt like coincidence was always connection. The rhythm between your actions and the world's responses becomes clearer, smoother, more direct. That's how the supermoon works, not by forcing change, but by illuminating what's already ready to move. And as that energy builds, another sign begins to emerge, one that's quieter but far more powerful: the desire for peace. Suddenly, noise feels heavier. Drama feels unnecessary. You start craving simplicity, stillness, and space to breathe. The people and situations that once felt exciting might now seem exhausting. This isn't you withdrawing. It's you evolving. You're not running away from life. You're protecting your energy. You're learning to choose what nourishes you instead of what drains you. You'll find yourself cleaning your space, deleting old messages, organizing what's been ignored. These simple actions are not trivial. They're physical expressions of energetic clearing. The moon's light amplifies whatever space you create. The more you clear, the more it can illuminate. It's like preparing a field before the rain. You make room for what's ready to grow. You might not see the results instantly, but you'll feel the difference in your clarity, your mood, your sleep, your focus. And just when the buildup feels intense, the world shifts again. The days leading into the full moon bring one more transition, a sudden calm. It's that moment when everything quiets down after being so loud for so long. The air feels different. You feel different. It's as if the universe pauses for breath, holding the stillness before everything turns forward again. That calm isn't emptiness. It's preparation. It's the balance before the rise. The calm arrives quietly, almost without warning. One moment, everything feels heavy and fast, and the next, the air itself seems to settle. You might not even notice it right away. The silence is so soft, it could be mistaken for emptiness. But beneath it, something is moving. It's not stillness without reason. It's the breath before the shift. Around this time, people begin to behave differently without realizing it. Conversations soften. Conflicts lose their edge. Small misunderstandings suddenly make sense. It's as if the world exhales at once, giving you space to see things clearly for the first time in weeks. This is the seventh sign, the return of calm after chaos. Everything that's been speeding forward finally slows down enough for you to catch your breath. It's the universe's way of saying, you've cleared enough. You're ready to see what comes next. This pause isn't a delay. It's a sign of alignment. It gives your spirit time to adjust to the new rhythm forming around you. During this quiet moment, things that once seemed confusing begin to make sense. Patterns emerge where you only saw randomness before. Choices that once felt impossible now appear simple. The noise that clouded your mind fades, and what remains is clarity, not forced, but earned through patience. The calm carries weight. It's not the silence of absence. It's the stillness of preparation. Like the quiet moment before dawn, it hums with possibility. The light hasn't broken yet, but you can already sense it's coming. That's how transformation works. It begins softly, in the still places where your awareness finally catches up with your becoming. And as you breathe into the space, the eighth sign reveals itself: honesty. Not the kind that demands confrontation, but the kind that lives inside your bones. Around this moon, pretending becomes harder. Masks begin to slip, both yours and others. You feel the pull to speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You might catch yourself saying things you've held in for months, not with anger, but with calm certainty. This energy doesn't encourage chaos. It encourages authenticity. It shows you where you've been shrinking yourself to keep the peace, where you've been agreeing to things that no longer align, where you've stayed silent just to be liked. The light of the supermoon burns too brightly for illusions to survive. You'll start noticing truth everywhere, in the tone of someone's voice, in what's not being said, in the way people show up or quietly drift away. Don't resist it. The truth isn't here to hurt you. It's here to free you. It clears the path between who you've been and who you're becoming. Honesty is magnetic. The moment you start living from your truth, the right people and opportunities begin to recognize you. They can finally find you because you're no longer hiding behind what you think others need you to be. This is one of the most powerful shifts of all, when you stop chasing validation and start embodying self-trust. That's when the ninth sign appears, a quiet sense of new beginnings. It's not a grand revelation or an external event. It's something internal, a deep knowing that something good is approaching. You can't name it, but you can feel it. It's in the way small things begin to align, the way a random moment makes you smile for no reason, the way you suddenly feel lighter, as though the air itself is lifting you forward. This is how new chapters begin, not with noise, but with quiet certainty. You'll notice that life starts to click. Plans that were delayed begin to move. Conversations open doors. People appear at the right moment. It's subtle at first, but the momentum builds quickly once you recognize it. Every step you've taken until now has led you here. The strange coincidences, the emotional tides, the restless nights, all of them were guiding you toward this moment of renewal. When the super full moon finally rises into its brilliance, it will be like the world pressing a reset button. The old cycles break apart, and space opens for something entirely new. This isn't the end of your story. It's the awakening of a brighter one, a chapter shaped by awareness, intention, and courage. Right now, in the hours before the full moon, the world hums with anticipation. There's a strange silence that feels heavy, but not in a painful way. Heavy with potential, like the pause between one heartbeat and the next. You can feel it in your chest, in your thoughts, in the subtle quickening of everything familiar. The light in the sky grows a little stronger each night, and with it, the energy around you shifts. People may seem more emotional, more honest, more reactive. Words carry more weight. Choices feel sharper. You might notice that time behaves strangely, moving both too quickly and too slowly, stretching moments in ways that make them feel significant even when nothing obvious is happening. This is a turning point before transformation, the phase where what was uncertain begins to reveal its purpose. The puzzle pieces that once made no sense start to fit. Conversations that once left you confused now feel like keys unlocking understanding. You'll start to see how each moment, each delay, each disappointment carried a hidden lesson that's now becoming clear. It's as though the universe has been rearranging itself quietly, placing the right people, ideas, and chances in your path. You might not see the full picture yet, but you'll sense its formation. The moments that once felt small now glow with meaning. The connections that seemed random now show their design. Every challenge you've faced, every doubt you've overcome, every step you've taken, all of it has been leading you here, to this threshold, to this rise. The air feels lighter. The days shimmer with small synchronicities, a phrase overheard that mirrors your thoughts, a melody that stirs something ancient in you, a stranger who speaks a sentence that feels like a sign. These aren't accidents. They're reminders that meaning has been waiting patiently for you to notice it. You begin to realize that even ordinary days carry sacred hints of transformation. The world whispers softly, "You're almost there." This build-up can feel strange, part excitement, part restlessness. You might question whether you're ready, or wonder why things are taking so long. But this waiting isn't empty. It's alignment. The energy around you is preparing the ground before your next step. Think of it like the tide. The ocean doesn't rush to meet the shore. It gathers its strength quietly before every wave. That's what's happening now. During this phase, you'll feel drawn to act, to clean, to organize, to reach out, to finish things you've been avoiding. These impulses aren't random either. They're signs that transformation has already begun to move through you. Your body, your mind, your energy, all of them are aligning with what's ahead, long before your logic catches up. This is what people often misunderstand about turning points. They rarely look dramatic from the outside. The real change happens quietly beneath the surface. It begins inside you, in the soft reshaping of thought, in the decision to let go, in the courage to trust what you can't yet see. And as this energy deepens, the people around you begin to shift too. Some will reconnect after distance. Others will fade away without reason. Don't cling or chase. Both movements are part of the same pattern. Everything finding its rightful place. The universe rearranges your surroundings to match your growth. That's how rhythm works. Every ending makes room for a beginning. Every departure clears space for arrival. You'll start to feel your courage rising, not the loud, reckless kind, but the quiet confidence that tells you, "I can handle this." The fears that once paralyzed you lose their power. The doubts that used to echo loudly now sound distant, almost irrelevant. The weight you've carried begins to lift, not because the world changes, but because your perception does. You realize you're no longer fighting against the current. You're moving with it. And that's the difference between resistance and alignment. This is where the turning point truly begins. When your inner strength catches up to your outer reality, the moments that once broke you now feel like proof of how strong you've become. You understand that every pause, every setback wasn't meant to stop you. It was sculpting you, refining your focus, teaching you patience. You start to believe, genuinely believe, that you can handle more than you thought possible. And that belief transforms everything. The world responds to confidence. The moment you decide you're ready, life begins to reflect that readiness back to you. Opportunities appear. People show up, ideas spark, paths that once seemed hidden start to clear. Above you, the moon grows brighter each night, as though mirroring your awareness. Its glow isn't just light, it's reflection, showing you how every thought, every action, every emotion sends ripples into the world. You begin to see your power differently, not as control, but as influence. You start paying attention to what truly matters, your peace, your time, your direction. The unnecessary noise begins to fade, replaced by a calm certainty that anchors you. And in that quiet understanding, you reach a crossroads, the point where many turn back in fear or step forward in faith. You already know which one you are. There's a moment, subtle, almost invisible, when you realize the old version of you no longer fits. It happens between breaths, between thoughts. You don't announce it, and the world doesn't notice it right away. But inside, something clicks. You've outgrown who you were. This is a tense sign, the quiet shedding, the space where identity and destiny begin to realign. You'll notice it when you return to old places that once felt like home, and now they don't. You'll feel it in conversations that used to spark excitement, but now leave you drained. You'll recognize it when familiar patterns stop making sense. It's not sadness, it's recognition. You've simply evolved beyond certain vibrations. People, habits, thoughts, they all carry frequencies. When your frequency rises, not everything can travel with you. And that's okay. This is the nature of expansion, to release so you can receive. The full moon magnifies this energy. It illuminates what no longer matches your truth, showing you clearly what must be left behind. You'll feel it in your body first. A restlessness, a pull. Maybe you'll find yourself cleaning, deleting old files, rethinking plans. These aren't random impulses. They're signals from your higher self. Your soul is preparing room for what's coming next. But before new energy can anchor, the old must dissolve. That's the 11th sign, the release. The world begins to rearrange in ways that might confuse you at first. Opportunities shift. People change direction. Something you thought was certain suddenly pauses. Don't panic. Don't chase what drifts away. Every ending you experience under this energy is sacred. It's not rejection. It's redirection. Think of the tides again. They don't disappear when they pull back. They gather power to return stronger. That's what your life is doing right now, drawing back to build momentum. So if you feel uncertainty, breathe through it. It's not a void. It's the in-between, the sacred womb of transformation. During this phase, emotions can surge like waves, intense, unpredictable, but purposeful. Old memories might surface. Unfinished conversations replay in your mind. The moonlight brings everything hidden into view, not to punish you, but to cleanse you. Let the emotions flow. Don't analyze everyone. Just witness them. Feel them fully, because the act of feeling is the act of freeing. As you release, something beautiful happens. Space opens. And in that space, you'll feel the 12th sign, renewal. It begins small, like the first light after storm, a spark of curiosity, a hint of inspiration, a soft desire to begin again. You may find yourself dreaming differently. You'll wake up with new ideas, or feel drawn to paths that never made sense before. Your energy starts to shift from what have I lost to what am I creating next? That's the pivot, the rebirth moment. The new self doesn't arrive dramatically. It emerges gradually, thought by thought, decision by decision. You begin speaking differently. You start treating yourself with more patience. You move through your days with quiet confidence, no longer seeking permission. This is alignment taking form. The 11th and 12th signs often overlap, release and renewal dancing together. You may cry and laugh on the same day. You may feel both fragile and unstoppable. That's because you're crossing thresholds. You're learning to live in flow. The energy of the supermoon doesn't just ask for reflection. It demands embodiment. It calls you to live what you've learned, not just think it, but become it. You'll start to notice new symbols appearing in your path, repeating numbers, unexpected invitations, songs that seem to speak directly to your situation. These are confirmations, echoes of your own resonance reflected back by the universe. Pay attention. The signs are not coincidences. They're language, the way energy communicates with awareness. And then one evening, maybe when you're least expecting it, you'll feel it. The 13th sign, illumination. It's the moment your past and future meet in the present, and everything finally makes sense. The pain, the pauses, the redirections, all becomes clear. You see how perfectly every piece fit, even the ones that hurt. It's a deep inner recognition, not intellectual, but cellular. You don't just know that you're guided. You feel it. The certainty settles in your bones. This illumination doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you've stopped needing them. You finally trust the process. The moon reaches its fullest point in the sky, radiant, vast, whole. And you understand without words that this is you too. You've come full circle. All the fragments, all the versions of yourself you've carried, merge into one clear presence. The light touches everything. Your memories, your mistakes, your growth. And you realize that none of it was wasted. It was all necessary. This is the wisdom of the 13th sign. Wholeness. The acceptance that you were never broken. That every version of you has served its purpose in bringing you here. And when that realization lands, something inside you clicks into alignment. You stop fighting for control. You start moving with grace. You stop asking, why me? And start whispering, thank you. From this state, your energy changes completely. Your presence becomes magnetic. You draw on what matches your frequency effortlessly, not through striving, but through being. This is when manifestation accelerates, because you stop operating from fear and started creating from trust. People will notice. They may say you look different, lighter, more alive. They won't know what changed, but you will. It's not your circumstances that shifted first. It was your vibration. This is the 10th sign, the quiet shedding, the space where identity and destiny begin to realign. You'll notice it when you return to old places that once felt like home, and now they don't. You'll feel it in conversations that used to spark excitement, but now leave you drained. You'll recognize it when familiar patterns stop making sense. It's not sadness, it's recognition. You simply evolve beyond certain vibrations. People, habits, thoughts, they all carry frequencies. When your frequency rises, not everything can travel with you. And that's okay. This is the nature of expansion. To release so you can receive. The full moon magnifies this energy. It illuminates what no longer matches your truth, showing you clearly what must be left behind. You'll feel it in your body first. A restlessness, a pull. Maybe you'll find yourself cleaning, deleting old files, rethinking plans. These aren't random impulses. They're signals from your higher self. Your soul is preparing room for what's coming next. But before new energy can anchor, the old must dissolve. That's the 11th sign, the release. The world begins to rearrange in ways that might confuse you at first. Opportunities shift. People change direction. Something you thought was certain suddenly pauses. Don't panic. Don't chase what drifts away. Every ending you experience under this energy is sacred. It's not rejection. It's redirection. Think of the tides again. They don't disappear when they pull back. They gather power to return stronger. That's what your life is doing right now, drawing back to build momentum. So if you feel uncertainty, breathe through it. It's not a void. It's the in-between, the sacred womb of transformation. During this phase, emotions can surge like waves, intense, unpredictable, but purposeful. Old memories might surface. Unfinished conversations replay in your mind. The moonlight brings everything hidden into view, not to punish you, but to cleanse you. Let the emotions flow. Don't analyze everyone. Just witness them. Feel them fully, because the act of feeling is the act of freeing. As you release, something beautiful happens. Space opens. And in that space, you'll feel the 12th sign, renewal. It begins small, like the first light after storm, a spark of curiosity, a hint of inspiration, a soft desire to begin again. You may find yourself dreaming differently. You'll wake up with new ideas, or feel drawn to paths that never made sense before. Your energy starts to shift from what have I lost to what am I creating next? That's the pivot, the rebirth moment. The new self doesn't arrive dramatically. It emerges gradually, thought by thought, decision by decision, you begin speaking differently. You start treating yourself with more patience. You move through your days with quiet confidence, no longer seeking permission. This is alignment taking form. The 11 and 12 signs often overlap, release and renewal dancing together. You may cry and laugh on the same day. You may feel both fragile and unstoppable. That's because you're crossing thresholds. You're learning to live and flow. The energy of the supermoon doesn't just ask for reflection. It demands embodiment. It calls you to live what you've learned, not just think it, but become it. You'll start to notice new symbols appearing in your path. Repeating numbers, unexpected invitations, songs that seem to speak directly to your situation. These are confirmations, echoes of your own resonance reflected back by the universe. Pay attention. The signs are not coincidences. Their language, the way energy communicates with awareness. And then one evening, maybe when you're least expecting it, you'll feel it. The 13th sign, illumination. It's the moment your past and future meet in the present, and everything finally makes sense. The pain, the pauses, the redirections, all of it becomes clear. You see how perfectly every piece fit, even the ones that hurt. It's a deep inner recognition, not intellectual, but cellular. You don't just know that you're guided. You feel it. The certainty settles in your bones. This illumination doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you stop needing them. You finally trust the process. The moon reaches its fullest point in the sky, radiant, vast, whole. And you understand without words that this is you too. You come full circle. All the fragments, all the versions of yourself you've carried, merge into one clear presence. The light touches everything. Your memories, your mistakes, your growth. And you realize that none of it was wasted. It was all necessary. This is the wisdom of the 13th sign. Wholeness. The acceptance that you were never broken. That every version of you has served its purpose in bringing you here. And when that realization lands, something inside you clicks into alignment. You stop fighting for control. You start moving with grace. You stop asking, why me? And start whispering, thank you. From this state, your energy changes completely. Your presence becomes magnetic. You draw on what matches your frequency effortlessly, not through striving, but through being. This is when manifestation accelerates, because you've stopped operating from fear and started creating from trust. People will notice. They may say you look different, lighter, more alive. They won't know what changed, but you will. It's not your circumstances that shifted first. It was your vibration. Everything external is simply catching up. This is the secret rhythm of transformation. It always begins unseen, in silence, in surrender. And then, all at once, it appears visible, like the moon rising after a long, dark night. The 13th sign is not an ending. It's a continuation of all beginnings. It's a reminder that the journey never truly stops. The cycle will begin again, new desires, new lessons, new growth. But this time, you'll walk differently. You'll walk with awareness. You'll walk with gratitude. You'll walk with light. And every time the moon grows full again, you'll remember this version of you, the one who didn't give up, the one who kept believing, the one who trusted the unseen. Because that's the truth at the core of all transformation. You were never lost. You were only unfolding. The light was always within you, waiting for the moment you'd stop searching for it outside. So now stand beneath the sky. Feel the pull of the full moon. Let its light touch your face, your heart, your dreams. Breathe deeply, as if inhaling the whole universe into your lungs. Whisper softly, I am ready, ready to release, ready to rise, ready to begin again. Because this calm, this clarity, this awareness is what you were always meant to find. And now that you have, nothing will ever be the same again. The night deepens and the moon stands high, luminous, unblinking, eternal. It hangs in the sky like an ancient mirror, reflecting not the world as it is, but as it's becoming. This is the culmination, the last breath before renewal. In the stillness, you feel time stretch and fold. Everything that was the questions, the chaos, the endings, drift softly behind you. Ahead, a horizon glows faintly with possibility. You stand between both, no longer the person who began this journey, not yet the one you're about to become. This is the 14th sign, transcendence. It's the space where you stop resisting your own becoming, where acceptance becomes power and surrender becomes movement. You no longer seek to understand everything. You simply trust that what's meant for you will always find you. That trust is not weakness, it's mastery. It's the quiet knowing that the universe speaks in precision, even when it uses silence. You'll feel this truth like a vibration in your bones, that nothing has ever been random, that even the detours were divine. Every delay protected you. Every ending prepared you. Every heartbreak carved space for the light you now hold. When you reach this awareness, gratitude becomes effortless. You begin to thank everything. The storms that broke you, the nights that tested you, the people who left, the ones who stayed. All of it becomes sacred, because now you see it clearly. Every loss was a lesson in disguise. Every fall was a form of flight you hadn't yet understood. And as that realization blooms within you, the 15th sign appears, embodiment. You stop talking about transformation and start living it. You no longer chase peace. You are peace. You no longer look for signs. You become one. This is when alignment stops being theory and becomes presence. You wake up differently, move differently, speak differently. You choose your words carefully, not out of fear, but out of awareness. You know that everything you express is energy, and energy always returns home. People will sense it in you. They may not understand it, but they'll feel it. The steadiness, the glow, the grounded calm. You'll start drawing in souls who match that frequency. Conversations will deepen. Opportunities will align without force. It will all feel natural, because you're no longer pushing against the current. You are the current. This phase feels like walking in light. Not blinding, but warm, like sunrise after endless night. You'll laugh more easily, breathe more deeply. And in that peace, creativity awakens. That's the 16th sign, creation. Once you release the past, truth flows through you freely. Ideas, visions, dreams, they rise like sparks. You'll feel the urge to build, to express, to give shape to what's been growing within you. This is where purpose begins to reveal itself, not as a single mission, but as a living energy. It's not about what you should do. It's about what feels alive in you. Maybe it's a new project, a conversation that opens your heart, a decision that feels like freedom. Whatever it is, you'll recognize it immediately. It feels like coming home. You'll move with clarity, not because the path is perfect, but because your intuition is louder than your fear. The moon's light amplifies this awareness, reminding you that everything is cyclical. Creation, growth, rest, renewal. And in honoring that rhythm, you become unstoppable. From this state, manifestation flows naturally, not as wishful thinking, but as alignment in motion. You realize that you don't have to chase what's already yours. You only have to make space for it. And then, quietly, the 17th sign emerges, legacy. This isn't about fame or recognition. It's about the imprint you leave in the lives you touch, the energy you spread through your choices. It's about becoming a living reminder that transformation is possible. You begin to notice how your calm affects others. Your presence softens rooms. Your words plant hope. Your actions ripple far beyond what you can see. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what you radiate while you're still here. And as this realization settles, a profound peace fills you. This is a final sign, ascension, not in a mystical sense, but in the truest one. You rise into your full awareness. You embody everything you've learned. You stop seeking light because you've realized you are it. You move through the world differently now, not untouched by pain, but unshaken by it. You understand that challenges will still come, but they no longer define you. You meet them with grace, knowing they're part of your expansion. This is freedom, not the absence of struggle, but the presence of perspective. When you reach this state, you'll look back on the path that led you here, the shifts, the signs, the silence, and you'll feel awe, because what once felt chaotic now reveals its design. The super full moon above glows like an ancient witness, illuminating everything you've become. Its light doesn't separate shadows. It integrates them. And in that integration, You finally understand what it means to be whole. You completed the cycle, not by escaping your darkness, but by learning to walk through it with open eyes. So stand there for a moment. Let the light touch your skin. Feel the air move softly around you. You are not the same. You have shed what was false, released what was heavy, and stepped into truth. Your energy is clearer now, refined, elevated, strong. And from here, everything changes. The people who meet you next will meet the most aligned version of you that has ever existed. The opportunities that arise will match your frequency perfectly. The dreams that once felt distant will begin to take shape, drawn by the vibration you now hold. You become the embodiment of your own transformation, and the universe, seeing your readiness, begins to respond. The next cycle will not be about healing. It will be about expansion, not about surviving, but thriving, not about finding light, but being the light that guides others home. This is your ascension, not an escape from the human experience, but a full embrace of it, living awake, loving without fear, trusting without control, walking in peace even when the world shifts around you, because you've learned the ultimate truth. You are not separate from the moon, the tides, or the cycles. You are made of the same rhythm, eternal, luminous, evolving. So when the next full moon rises, you'll no longer look to it for signs. You'll recognize it as a reflection of your own becoming. You are the sign. You are the shift. You are the light that changes everything. And as you whisper your gratitude into the night, the universe listens, because it always has. Every thought, every heartbeat, every quiet prayer, it was never ignored. It was simply waiting for you to become the version of yourself who could receive the answer. Now you are that version. Now the path opens. Now the story begins again, not as repetition, but as rebirth. So breathe deeply once more. Raise your gaze to the glowing sky. And remember, you have risen. You have returned. You have become whole. And that is the truest miracle of all.